we don't should ourselves, like we shouldn't feel anxious, we should be able to use our tools. Sometimes, even with our tools, it can get ahead of us, it can get, like, kind of overwhelm us. So, what would you do if you had an anxious child in your care? How would you speak to that person? You say, it's okay, I'm here for you, I'm here, you're going to be all right, I'm taking care of you. And that's the way we should do our self-talk, and with awareness. And then as we continue to adopt that loving kindness toward ourselves, then it will become easier to accept what's going on around us and feel at peace within the storm, within the framework. So that's just something that I've been working with this past week, and I wanted to just mention at the beginning of class that breath awareness is one easy way to work with anxiety. And it doesn't have to be diaphragmatic deep breathing. It can be just simply watching your breath, stopping and observing, closing your eyes, and just watch the flow of breath. That exercise for 10 or 20 minutes will elicit the relaxation response in your brain, will let your nervous system start calming you down. So 10 minutes minimum. You could do it as long as 20. And it can be in any position. You could be lying on your back, you could be lying in a restorative yoga pose, you could be standing in mountain. You can even be somewhere out in public and stand in mountain with your arms down and your feet planted, and then begin to just sort of, with a soft gaze, watch your breath and then see what happens. There are people out there that are really not doing, they're really crazy, they're either, maybe someone triggers you, they're not wearing a mask, or they're acting rude, or they're insensitive, or just something. It can bring up fear and anxiety. So remember who you are. Remember that you have the ability to at least center yourself with the breath. Okay? And, we always are mindful of our breath during yoga, and tonight I'm going to try to do that even more. So and like I said, it doesn't have to be a special breathing technique, it's just simply focusing in and watching your natural breath in and out and letting yourself settle. So with that, let's find a comfortable seat. Find yourself, and it's also grounding. So now we're doing a grounding exercise, Sukhasana, seated pose. In this pose, you can feel connected with the earth and sitting down, getting away from all the craziness, and bringing yourself in an upright position. Feel the crown of your head lifted, and feel your heart open. Notice that sometimes when we get afraid, we tend to what's this? Not shrug, but, like shrink. That's not the word I'm using, so you all know what I'm talking about. Not the opposite of a good posture. Slump. That's it, slump. So now we're going to do the opposite of that. And in the self, the physiological effect of sitting up tall already begins to make you feel better. So you can either close your eyes or have your eyes just cast down and let your jaw relax. Begin to imagine your body relaxed and seated. Your jaw, let go of the tension, your forehead, if there's any worry, wrinkles there, just soften. And then allow your belly to relax, your chest. Notice where there might be tightness, like maybe you're tight in your neck or your chest. just note that with love and attention, without judgment. Maybe it's your low back. And for a moment now, just watch the natural breath without changing anything. Notice any sensations or sounds associated with the breath. Maybe you hear a sound inside as the breath comes in and out. Maybe you want to say to yourself the 3 words, I let go. I let go. Of control, of worry, of anxiety. And that part of yourself, that nurturing part of yourself, then holds that inner child in a loving embrace. All is well, I'm here for you. I will take care of you. You are safe. And then opening your eyes a little bit brighter and feeling how your body is feeling, your neck and shoulders. Let's do some shoulder rolls. Bring the shoulders to the ears and around and down. And again, you can now deep breathe a little bit deeper as you move with the breath. Inhale, exhale. Opening up the joint, letting the shoulder blades slide down. Maybe your hands are tense from the day, so maybe you want to just open and close your hands. Circle your wrists. Shake them out. And then coming onto your actual seat on the floor, if you're on a cushion, just let your legs come all the way out, away from you. Hands behind, and circle your feet, your ankles. Sitting on your sitting bones, just make any small movements that feel good, stretching. And then placing both feet on the floor. Sit up nice and tall. Feel your belly muscles. Feel what it's like to sort of draw them in as you exhale. And then begin to move your knees side to side. You're going to loosen up the low back. So inhale your knees up and let them flow over, just like a flow. No pushing or no forcing, just let them move gently with the breath. And see how that feels. And then next time you come over to the right side, keep the knees folded and walk yourself around toward the back into a gentle twist. So alternating, putting one hand down, then the other, sort of walk your hands around. Come into a twist. You can have your arms, your elbows gently bent or straight. Keep your chin tucked. And take some nice deep breaths. You can even further come down onto your forearms for a deeper twist. And let your head come forward and stretch the back of your neck. Deep breath, and then walk yourself back up to the original position, and once again, moving your knees side to side. So twisting is a great way to release stress. Your internal organs thank you for it. And now going over to the other side, folded knees, sit up nice and tall, and then bring your hand around behind you and walk yourself around as far as is comfortable for you. This side might be different. Take a deep breath, tuck your chin, feel a long spine, and then walk yourself forward if you like onto your forearms and let your head drop down. Deep breath. You can exhale through the mouth, just let go. Bring yourself back up and back around to the starting position. Place the soles of your feet together. And if you'd like, you can walk your sitting bones forward toward your heels. See how that feels. Or if that's uncomfortable, walk back or slide your feet away from you so you have a nice comfortable butterfly position. Nice and tall, and then up and down, knees come up and down. Just let this be a very gentle, enjoyable experience. See how everything feels. If you'd like, you can sit up nice and tall, sort of a Baddha Konasana, bound angle. If you could just press forward from the hip bones, keeping the chest lifted. Take a deep breath. Deep breath, and then the exhale, round down, forward. Nice long inhale. You know, I was at the doctor and he was checking my lungs with a stethoscope, and he said I could always tell people who do yoga because they have a nice long exhale. They breathe in and then a nice long exhale, which is true, isn't it? So, turning into a table now, find yourself with a flat back, your fingers spread wide, starfish style, under your shoulders, your wrists if they're comfortable. If not, you can provide a support by rolling your mat and placing a little angle to your wrists, palms down. Or you can always use the tops of your hands with your hands folded. But anyway, let's move into the cat and dog tilt. Also thread the needle, and some other ways to get the spine to open up and be flexible and get rid of some of the stiffness that we have from tension. So take a deep breath, and on the exhale, drop the tailbone and round the back. Press the middle of the back up to the sky, and then inhale, lift the tailbone, and then all the way up the spine, extend, looking up gently with your, you can actually look up with your eyes, and then round down. So going back and forth, coordinating breath and movement. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift the tailbone, let the movement begin in the hip. So you start with the tailbone going up and then down. And then the head comes up last. So I'm going to ask you to do it for another 30 seconds or so at your own pace, keeping mindfulness of breath at whatever level your breath is, whether it's natural breath or deep breath. Feel yourself diving inside. When you come back through neutral, pause, and then a side bend would be to turn and look at your hip. So it's your right hip. Right shoulder and right hip approach each other, and then come back to center. So you're making a C shape with your spine. Inhale at the center, exhale to the side. So rather than sway back, you're trying to meet your shoulder toward your hip. And the next movement of the spine is a twist again. So we would take our right arm and reach up toward the ceiling to raise it, and then bring it down, threading the needle, bringing the arm underneath your left arm, and bringing your hips back while you bring your shoulder to the floor. So the hips come back so that you're not going to have all your weight on your shoulder, and then your shoulder meets the floor and the side of your head meets the floor. And then you can bring your left arm up and around and rest your left hand on your low back. Take some deep breaths. See if you can settle in for a few breaths here. And then bring your hand back down to the floor, press into the mat, lift yourself up and slide your hand back. So this is a safe way to do that. So I'm going to face you for this. So for the other side, find length in your spine. Bring your left arm up and then draw it underneath your right shoulder, bringing your shoulder to the floor, and at the same time, hips coming back like you were going into child. Side of the head, and arm comes back and around. The right arm can sweep around and rest the back of your hand on your low back. I don't have a lot of weight on my neck and head. I'm shifting my weight back toward my heels. Breathe in and out. And then now placing your right hand back on the floor and pressing yourself up before you draw your arm out. Now coming back into table and doing some lovely hip circles, so moving your hips around to the side and back and to the side. Hi Allison, I hadn't seen you before. Hello everyone. I'm looking at the screen, seeing all my beautiful yogis. And then change direction of that beautiful circle. Let this be luxurious and sensual. I wish I had the music to go with this now. That's coming when we do the live classes. So see how you feel now with that beautiful hip movements. And then coming back to the table and extending your right leg back behind you, pressing out through the foot and extend your left arm, up at shoulder height. And see if you can squeeze the glute and find yourself in this balance of strength and grace. Deep breath. Lower your hand, lower your knee, and other side. Press out to the left side and reach. And lower your hand down. See how you feel. Bring your knees a little bit further apart and stretch back into child. Lower your forehead down. And feel a nice stretch in the low back. Let the tailbone sort of softly go back toward the floor. This is when you say to your child, you are safe. You are going to be fine. I'm taking care of you. And then coming forward, bring your knees gently under your hips. And then reach up into an upward facing dog. A nice, beautiful stretch of the front of the body. Tuck your chin. And notice how it feels just to really stretch. And then coming back into a puppy stretch. And then forward again. So you're gliding in and out of this beautiful stretch. Reach back. Let your hands be stuck to the mat. And as you come forward, press the hip bones forward. Coming back, long stretch in the back. And then coming forward again. And this time, curl your toes under and see if you can come into a nice plank knees off the floor. Looking down between your hands. If that doesn't suit you, just bring your knees right back down, but press out through the heels. You can even move a little bit in this plank. Let it be a little bit meditative. And then knees come down to the floor. Reach back again into a nice big puppy stretch. Reach forward, come up. Curl toes and come into downward facing dog. You can stay in down dog and bend one knee and then the other, stretching the back of your legs. You can continue to do that if you're complete with that. Bring yourself forward into upward facing dog, again with knees off the floor. And then down dog. And then inhale forward. Feel strength and grace in this flow. Feel yourself reaching back into downward facing dog. And then forward, up dog. Knees come to the floor. Once again, come into child pose. Bring yourself back to table and then come to standing, one foot on the floor and then the other. And notice how it is to feel upright now. Get a drink of water if you'd like, a sip. And here we are, we're standing somewhere and there's people around us. And maybe we're feeling some trepidation or wariness about what's happening around us. Maybe we're feeling happy. Maybe we just want to feel centered. So your feet hip distance apart. Feel yourself pressing your feet all four corners into the floor. Knees are soft. And let your arms come by your side. Lift the heart. Feel the crown lifted. This is our classic mountain pose. So in this pose, you don't even have to close your eyes. I invite you to either close your eyes or just glance off into the distance with a soft gaze and watch your breath. Bring your attention back to your breath. And then resume whatever you were doing. So you see, you can do that anytime and any place. Center yourself, you're doing yoga. So now we want to do some standing swinging twists, which are good and very good for our mental health and metabolism, sort of raising the energy level, raising our mood by moving, letting the arms just flap like they were loose, empty coat sleeves. Ha, ha. You can even do a little brief ha, ha. Exhale, ha. Ha, just don't hyperventilate. Ha, ha. Be sure to take it in. There we go. And then moving a little bit with feet a little closer into breath of joy. This is something wonderful. Raising the arms, raising the energy. And so now there's 3 movements, 3 inhales with breath of joy, right? Inhale to the front. Inhale, open. Inhale, overhead. And exhale, forward bend. Ha. So, sip, 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 exhale, ha. Inhale through the nose 3 times and exhale through the mouth, ha. 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 It can be vigorous or soft, ha. I call sometimes a wet noodle, breath of joy. 2 more. And then stay down on the next one. Now we're in forward bend. Find yourself with the top of your body tailbone lifted. You can have a nice soft bend in your knees or deeply bent if that works better for your body. But as you exhale, see if you can allow your head and neck to drop down and move it in a circle. Say, nod your head yes, or move your head side to side. Let that be a nice stretch. The head weighs about 12 pounds, so that's a nice traction for your neck. Take a deep breath. And then slowly coming up with a flat back. If you have osteoporosis, you don't know, or even, aging body, you want to come up with a flat back so that your vertebrae stay nice and intact. And bring your arms up overhead into mountain pose. And then exhale your hands down to your side. So that feels wonderful. That's a great forward bends and are very good for your mood, for depression, for anxiety. So I like to do the modified sun salutation with some variations. And if you're with me on that, just do what you like and leave the rest. So we're going to do a mountain pose forward bend, half lift, and forward bend. And then we're going to add half moon, we're going to add a chair pose and a twist. So see how that works. So, okay, let's find, this mat is extra sticky tonight. Woo! Let's just bend the knees and straighten for a moment. Take a deep breath as you bend, exhale as you come up. Nice. Okay, so let's begin. Inhale, we're going to do this nice and slow. Inhale all the way up. And reach back slightly. Press the hip bones forward. And then exhale, dive forward. Inhale, half lift. You can place your fingers on your shins or whatever. And then exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, arms all the way up. Let the hands touch, and let the hands float down in front of your heart. And right here, notice your heart, your beautiful heart. Now we're going to do that again, 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, forward bend. Half lift, exhale down. Full upright pose, palms come down in front of the heart. This time we're going to add, inhale all the way up and reach back. Come back to the top and then press into your left foot and reach over to the right. Get the left hip pressing outward as you side bend. And then try to distribute your weight evenly on both feet. And then come back up, pause, and then other side. Pressing into your feet. And come up. Take a deep breath, and then now forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down. Inhale all the way up. Palms together, float down in front of the heart. Let's do that again. Inhale all the way up. Press to the right, to center, to the left, to center. Swan dive forward. Half lift. Exhale down. Inhale all the way up. Palms together. Float down in front of the heart. Notice right now how you feel. Do you feel better? Do you feel more like centered and self-assured in your body, You know, you're becoming fully embodied, your mind, your spirit, your heart. Yoga is a system of wellness. So now we're going to incorporate the chair pose. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, half moon to the center and to the other side and back up. Swan dive forward. Half lift. Exhale down. And now we're going to bring your arms out behind you. Bend your knees deeply and sweep your arms forward into a chair pose, bringing your full weight onto your heels, the back of your feet, letting your shoulder blades slide down your back and engaging the muscles of your quadriceps and using your core strength. Breathe in, breathe out. Straighten your legs, bring your arms up overhead, palms together, float down in front of the heart. This time we're going to go into chair pose. When we're in chair pose, we're going to twist to each side while we're there. Inhale all the way up. Exhale to the right. Coming back up. See if you can keep your arms back, like in line with your ears if you can. Inhale up. Exhale. Forward fold. Half lift. Exhale down. Sweep your arms back and then forward into chair pose. If you'd like, for more challenge, you can bring your arms up, or you can have them right at shoulder height. And then bringing your hands together, we're going to press your hands into each other. And we're going to twist, bringing your left elbow toward your right knee, or right top of the knee. Deep breath. Exhale, come back to the center, pause, and then twist to the left. Inhale, come back to the center, release, straighten your legs and come all the way up. Palms come down in front of the heart. Let's step wide apart for now and bring ourselves into the 5-pointed star position. Check your shoulders. Let's turn your thumbs up and down, turning your arms in the socket. Inhale, thumbs up, exhale. Feel your arms lengthening, using your arm muscles. Wiggling your fingers, feeling your feet. And then take a moment to take a deep breath and then slide that right hand down the right side, reaching up with the left, reaching up and then over. So length, length, length. Exhale, bring that arm down. And now the right arm comes up. Left arm slides down the leg. Feeling a nice long line of energy from the outside of that foot up to the fingertips. And then come back again. Lower your arms down. See how that felt. Let's take a nice deep sun breath up. Exhale. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale. You're a breathing machine. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, we're going to do a side bend again. Bring your arms up, inhale, and then lower the right arm and reach across. See how maybe it's easier this time. Maybe you have a little more reach and you can even pulse a little bit into it. And then exhale, come down. Other side, right arm, reach up and over. And come back up into 5-pointed star. And from here, turn your toes away from the center line a little bit. We're going to come into the goddess pose. So bending your elbows with hands facing each other. Bend the knees and drop the tailbone. Come into a squatting goddess. Feel the tailbone heavy. Feel the strength and grace of the goddess pose. Now we're not afraid of anything. And then straighten your arms back up. And we're going to do a deep dive in a wide angle, coming down halfway, and then all the way down. Take a deep breath and let go. And then with your hands on the floor in front of you, just bend one knee and then the other, alternating these little side lunges. See how it feels to stretch a little bit of the inner thighs, keeping a nice long spine. And then coming back to the center, straightening the legs. Bring the right hand to the center between your legs, underneath your shoulder. And then sweep, we're going to come into a twist. Sweep the left arm up behind you. Lower your hand down and sweep the right arm up. Let's do that a few times each side. Keep going at your own pace. Inhale. When you come to the center, lengthen your spine. Exhale. See what you notice. You're turning your neck and your whole spine coming into this beautiful twist. And then come back down to the center. Let yourself lower your head back down again. And breathe. When you're ready, come down onto one knee and to the other, onto your mat and onto your back. On your back now, let your bones make contact with the floor, your arms, your back, your hips. And let's just invert our legs up overhead. And feel right over your hips. Feel that inversion. Bring your arms up as well. Let the shoulders come back toward the floor, but feel yourself with arms and legs in inversion. Notice your belly. Feel your strength of your core. Use your belly to help hold your legs up. And then bend your knees. And then bring your arms down by your side. This is, I think, what Mike calls sleeping tiger, right? Something like this. Arms on the floor. Feel the natural curve of your back, but let your rib cage settle down to the floor so it's not sticking up, right? Rib cage down. And feel the muscles of the lower abdominal region, core muscles working. Gently bring your feet down to the floor. And now for a little spinal rocking. As if you had the face of a clock on your back. 12 o'clock is at the waist, 6 o'clock at the tailbone. Gently move without taking your hips off the floor, rocking forward and back. Pubic bone dips down and then dips up, pressing into the waist as you exhale. Deep breath as you press toward the tailbone and then continue. Become absorbed in this. Watch your breath. And then sliding your arms out at shoulder height. We're going to do a little somatic movement of the hips. So you know how we go side to side with our knees. You can do a little bit of that now. Side to side. Next time your knees are over to the right, pause. And now we're going to have one leg is active and the other is passive. This is to help the hips with the memory of the functioning that they're meant to have. It's called somatics, S-O-M-A-T-I-C-S. So you take the right knee and let the right knee come up toward the ceiling. And let the left leg be just like dead weight. And keep moving the right knee toward the right until the left leg begins to follow. Let it be inactive. Let the right knee come down toward the right and the left leg will eventually flop over. Now for the other side. Now the left knee is the leader. The left leg comes up, gently comes over. The right leg just follows and eventually releases. One has control, one does not. So go back and forth. It's like opening and closing a book. See how it feels to you to give up control of one part of the body, and for one part to be the leader in charge. And then next time you come over to the right, just stretch your legs all the way out on the floor and pause, rest for a moment. I wanted to show you, I brought a chair in to show you how you can do a restorative pose in your home using a folding chair, a sofa, or a chair, any type of chair. So, coming down onto your back, but bringing yourself, swinging your legs up onto the chair. And I'm going to move forward so that my backs of my knees are supported. Then I'm going to bring myself down on my back. And this is a wonderful pose to rest and for your nervous system because your hips are now, if you have sore hips, your hips are really relaxed. Their gravity is bringing them down to the floor. You can also put a folded blanket under your hips, which feels really nice, to elevate your hips a little bit. But I don't have one with me right now. Okay, so I'm on my back and my arms are relaxed, hands are just relaxed. Close your eyes. If you find a place in your living room where you can do this right now, and for the next few minutes, I want you to just rest in this pose and watch your breath. Just watch the natural breath coming in and out. Make any adjustments to be absolutely comfortable. Bring your attention back to your breath when your mind wanders. And now please take in these words, a poem called Just by Breathing. With each breath, I take it in, all the unique outpourings of spirit and the eloquent expressiveness of now. With each breath, I let it out, all my disempowerment and doubt, my arm's length distance from the infinite and the real. Just by breathing, I am healed. Just by breathing, I am healed. A few more minutes in this pose, please. down, find your breath, and take a slow, deeper breath into the belly. Feel the belly fill the rib cage. Feel the front of the body expanding with a deeper breath. A healing, nurturing breath. Exhale slowly, letting it all out and letting go. Bring your feet up off the surface that you're on and make your way back down to your back. And draw your knees into your body, into a little ball, and rock side to side, massaging the low back. And then you can place your hands on your knees and circle your legs so that you're actually continuing right around that area, the low back, to massage. Going in one direction for a while, following it with the breath, and then other direction. Nice circles. And then extend the left leg and draw the right leg in only. Deep breath, press out through that left foot, and then change legs. Do that again on each side one more time. Draw the right knee in, extend the left leg. Press as you exhale, and then other side. Roll over and come to seated. And then lower your chin to your chest and move your chin side to side. Bring the head back up to center and stretch over to the right, gently pressing your head into your hand, over your ear, allowing that left shoulder to relax. Other side. Let the stretch happen. Breathe into it. And then come back up and take a moment to sit in again in Sukhasana. Hands on your lap, close your eyes. And quietly observe your breath. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And may you be happy. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May they be well. May they be at peace and at ease. And may they be happy. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I know you guys are still muted. But can you just give me a thumbs up sign if everything was okay this evening? Okay, good.
Great, thank you.
Oh, there you are, okay.
No, I'm here.
So I'm so happy and delighted that you're here. I hope you enjoyed the practice, and don't forget the legs up the wall or over a chair, whatever you can do once a day is great for your mind to calm your mind and lower anxiety.
It was awesome. Thank you, Carol.
Okay, thank you very much. Any suggestions you have, please let me know, okay?
It was perfect.
It was.
Carol.
Thank you.
Good night.
Hi, Allison.
Hi.
I love you all. Bye.
Perfect, Carol.
Oh, good.
Bye.
I'm so
That
glad.
was great.
No suggestions. Bye. Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Carol.
Good night.